Hi guys and welcome to the WAFC Content Podcast channel. So today we're going to be talking about how the season's been and about players not being paid the wages and stuff like that. So do you want to say anything to the guys before we get started, Kev?
No, I'm Kev Hughes, Brody's sidekick. Let's get this podcast underway.
And if you don't already know, he was on the WAFC Content channel playing some football with me, so let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about is the players not getting paid wages. So obviously players not being paid wages is not a good thing, is it?
No, it's wrong because obviously it's like when you go to work 9 to 5, you get that wage at the end of the month, something to look forward to. But the players not playing, not paying, not getting paid for playing, it's not good. But unfortunately, the club's in financial difficulty at the minute, so let's hope they bounce back.
Yeah, so obviously next season, when we're playing in League One, all other clubs are going to be starting on 0 points, while Wigan are going to be starting on -3. But the players haven't been paid again, potentially. So that might mean that Wigan will be starting the season on -8 points. So that is not a good sign, is it?
No, it's not good, especially when Wigan's struggling to win games at the minute. But let's see how the season starts. And hopefully they can turn around that 8-point deficit. That's if it does go to 8 points. But so let's fingers crossed, and let's hope it doesn't, and it's just a 3.
Yeah, so obviously not a great sign, but hopefully Wigan will get playoffs. They won't win the league next year because by the time Wigan get into 3 points or something, all other teams will be on something like 13, 16 points at that point. So it'll be very hard for Wigan to catch up. So that'll also be a challenge to get into the playoffs, won't it, as well?
Yeah, I do think it's only 3 points, so it's only one victory. Like if Wigan win the first few games and the top teams lose, then obviously they can match that deficit. But they should do well. So I do think they'll do well next season. I do think they'll go to the playoffs or maybe win the league if they get a few players. But yeah, it's all good. Up the ticks. Come on.
Like Kev has just mentioned then about players, we have just found out that James McLean has signed a new contract. Obviously, you are absolutely over the moon with that, aren't you?
Yeah, obviously I'm Scottish, but he's a fellow Irishman. So it's good to see some Irish blood in your local team. But I'm really surprised that he's not moved back home to Derry or moved on to another club. So it's really good for Wigan that they keep him and hopefully they pay his wages so he keeps playing. But yeah, it's a good start to the season, knowing that he's signed for another year.
Obviously, my favourite player, Max Power, he is in negotiation of signing a new contract as well for 1 season. In my opinion, I think he will stay for 1 season, but yeah, it just depends, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, obviously the last few games of this last season, I think he wasn't the fans' favourite by not turning up, especially not turning up to the last game of the season where there's young kids with signs, where they want Max Power's boots, top, shin pads, and obviously he's an ambassador to Wigan, Max Power. Do you know what I mean? Coming from Sunderland, but he's a kid's favourite, and I do think even though he adds a little bit of crap with the club, he should have turned up for his fans. It's like James McLean, didn't get paid, but played his last game unpaid and was captain, so he led by example. So Max Power just needs to do that as well.
Obviously, Callum Lang as well. We've not heard any sign from him whether he signed a new contract or he's gone, so fingers crossed he's staying. But another good thing that you're happy about is Darikwa leaving.
Yeah, Darikwa for me was not an influential player and definitely not captain material. You don't take your captain off unless he's injured or he's suspended. But Darikwa, he's out of position most games, doesn't do anything forward. So I'm actually glad that they've got rid of Darikwa or getting rid of him, and hopefully they replace him with someone anyone's half decent. But yeah, so I think James McLean will be captain starting next season, or if Max Power stays. So it'll be one of the two. So something to look forward to. But yeah, Derico not being there, so no mistakes in the right hand side. Yeah, it's looking good for next season. Fingers crossed.
Goalkeepers as well. Jamie Jones last season or something, he signed a new deal with Wigan, but Ben Amos has signed a new deal. But do you think that Sam Tickle in the last game of the season, do you think he'll get a spot in most games?
Yeah, I do think Sam Tickle should get a chance. Ben Amos and Jonesy has obviously re-signed because I don't think any other clubs after them or want them, and they are very poor goalkeepers and they let in very, very silly goals. So I don't see why they don't start Sam Tickle at the start of the season. It's just see how he progresses. He's only a young kid, so give him a shot.
Yeah. So now we're gonna move on from that, and we're gonna be talking about how last season went. Obviously, it didn't go too well with Wigan getting relegated and deducted points and stuff like that. But in overall, how do you think Wigan did last season? Do you think they did good, bad, average? What? I
think they started off really well. Like the games against QPR, and QPR was top 4, top 5. Wigan just need to win that game to go top of the league, and they drew 1-1. But they had the good games, but silly goals and silly games and losing goals in the last minute where they just need to tighten the defence up. But hopefully they'll learn by the mistakes for this season, and hopefully they can get a good start like it did last season. Think about it, they were one game away from top of the league last season and ended up bottom. So with a few bad results, changing the manager, so it's influential that they've got Sean Maloney, which is a great manager, and he's Scottish, so he's got good determination to win games. Obviously he played for my club Celtic, so let's hope they start off really, really well. A good start. So all we're asking for is a good start.
Obviously we couldn't help losing to teams like Sheffield United and Burnley and that, because obviously you expect to get beat by them because they're ex-Prem clubs, so you would expect to get beat by them. But yeah, teams like Blackpool, when we lost 1-0, we should be winning games like that. People say that Wigan's a small club. So many other clubs around England and around the world, but people always pick on Wigan for being small club and not having a great fan base and that. But yeah, overall, in my opinion, I think they had a decent season. It's only coming down to the second half of the season after the World Cup, Wigan just they just turned off, and there was focusing on too many things like not getting paid. So yeah, I have got a few things to show you now from last season. So Kev, do you want to talk while I show people?
Yeah, Brody's just going to show you the things that he created and a few of the things that he was given to by some of the players. Obviously the first thing he's going to show you is Max Power's signed boots. Those are actually Max Power's boots. He took them off and gave them to Brody on a Saturday against Huddersfield when Brody was a mascot.
So there they are signed as well, which is good. So we're going to try and get one of these box things that these can go in like that. But yeah, that is another good sign. So the next thing is
so this top that Brody's just shown you is James McLean's match top that James McLean gives to Brody.
And obviously I have got another shirt to show you, which is
Callum Lang's shirt.
And by the way, it does actually stink, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've not washed it yet, just Febrezed it because it just takes away the...
And so you know that it is match one. Look at the 19, all the mud on it. And the next thing is, before we went on for QPR, when I ended up getting Callum Lang's shirt, I ended up making this sign, but I never got to use it because we was playing against QPR, didn't we?
That's right, yeah. Well, they made this sign of, this is one of many. Obviously it says, Callum Lang 19, please can I have your shirt? WFC, believe, Phoenix, you're my sunshine. And obviously before we could actually bring this and put it up, Callum Lang actually gave me a shirt.
So, yeah, also, when I was a mascot, we got what did we get?
Got an autograph book with everyone's signature in it.
So
Everyone's personal
obviously,
signature.
there's Max's, because it's got number 8. McLean's is in here somewhere, but by the time I find McLean's, the channel would have finished. And the next thing is a signed programme by the entire team against QPR, because there's a QPR badge. So, yeah, overall, I've had a great season getting all shirts and stuff like that, haven't I?
Yeah, it's been a good season. I just wish the results went in their favour and they didn't have to get relegated. But it's a new start, new manager, so hopefully new players, and let's have a good start of the season and let's see what happens.
Like, loads of Wigan fans are saying, like, oh, get Sean Maloney out. But in my opinion, no, don't get him out, because he's come to a team in February when the transfer window's closed. He's come in February and he didn't even have a chance to get players, for people to sign new contracts, go out on loan. But yeah, like, I think give him another season and we will do well, won't we?
Yeah, give him 12 months. Let him try and hopefully get some money from the board, and see if he can just pick up a few good players on loan, and just hopefully see if he can rise to the table, top of the table, or even halfway. But just get some good results and get some fan base back. Got a lot of fans have obviously just not got any sympathy and desire or loyalty in the club because of what's been going on for the last few months with pay, etc, etc. But let's see what happens at the start of the season. So looking forward to it.
Like Kev just said then, like, fans are refusing to buy a season ticket for next season, which, in my opinion, is bad, because we're not getting any fans getting behind the boys.
All the fans are talking about the club not having any money. But you need to buy merchandise, you need to buy your tickets, you need to buy your season ticket to get that infrastructure inside the business. So the fans do need to look at themselves and try and support your local team.
Like, I posted a YouTube short not long ago, didn't I, about sacking the board with flares and everything getting set off. So, yeah, obviously, not a great season for Wigan last season, but I'm sure this season will be a better one. Yeah,
well, let's hope so. Let's hope they get off to a good start, like I said previously. They need to get a few good games, a few good wins at the start. Then get up that table, and then they can afford to lose a few games. You can't afford to lose a few games when you're at the bottom of the table, because that's when relegation comes in. But get up mid-table, and then obviously just see what happens. But yeah.
The things that I liked last season was probably the derbies that we went to, like Blackburn away, we went to Preston away, we went to Blackpool at home, we went to Blackburn.
Quite a lot last season.
We went to, well, I didn't go to Burnley, but I think you went to Burnley, didn't you?
Yeah.
But next season we'll be playing against teams like Stockport. We'll be playing against teams like Salford if they go up. Stuff like that. So there will be a vlog coming out very shortly about ranking League One stadiums, won't there?
Yeah, we can sort something out like that, yeah.
So after that, we will be like giving our honest reactions of League One stadiums, then Championship, then Premier League. But for now, that is the end of the WAFC Content Podcast.
See you later,
in a bit,
guys.
on the next podcast. Bye. Make sure as well you go and subscribe to my main channel. What else do you have to say?
Link, like it, subscribe, comment if you want. So
I will see you guys on the next podcast. Bye.